Hello everyone. I'm very sorry for yesterday there was a glitch in the system. I all hope you had a very beautiful day and a very great day ahead. Today I'm gonna actually speak the whole story and exactly confirm it to you, the episode I mean, and exactly finish it for you. Um, this is a story about the Bringer family. The Bringer family was led by Jake Bringer, who by his side was a powerful dark sorceress known as Nebula Bringer. Together, they served the Laurel magic within centuries after his death. After hearing about his death, they cut ties with the Shadow Empire warlords and all the other Shadow Empire warlords and all the other emperors and all the other high commanders of the Shadow Empire. In doing so, they begin to work hand in hand with their son, known as Shadow Jack, able to provide him information and more intelligence on how to take on the universal heroes and also the Shadow Empire as well as any other supervillain competitor and superhero like. Jake was about 4 at the age of 4. Jake Bringer was about 4 years old at magic school. He met with Nebula at the time where they studied the history of how the Laurel magic became the Laurel magic, how Laurel and Amber became what they are, the mortal villains as they are. They studied a lot more about the history, learned as much as possible as they can. At the age of 10, Jake Bringer and Nebula studied more about dark magic, its power, its potential, its uses, its greatest energy, greatest life source, able to exactly sustain worlds and planets, even more civilizations. By doing that exactly, they were able to study more about the sufficiency of life and death and also its greatest history and the history of light and shadow, the former leaders of shadow, the former leader of the Shadow Empire, light, the former leader of the Light Empire. In doing so, they were able to study about the weapons they used, the Shadow Sword and the Light Sword, and its potential and also its power and light energy and shadow energy. At the age of 20, Jack Bringer and Nebula became close. They felt connected. They felt like they were quietly intertwined together, that they were quietly falling in love, and that they quietly knew that they had a strong connection, that they could become the next power couple. So they started falling in love. They started even learning more about dark magic and all its secrets. In magic school at the time of 21, Jake Bringer and Nebula both entered a room full of dark magic, infused themselves with dark magic. They became more powerful, able to teleport themselves through distance, far space, throughout the far space of the universe and throughout the far space of the known galaxy and throughout the sacred universe and all the other worlds and all the other planets. With the power that is ready, infused them with dark magic, they became more powerful and more immortal. Jake Bringer and Nebula Bringer suggested that they serve the Lolo magic and the goddess of power, known as the Witch of Power Ember, and her forces. They started serving them, providing them with more shadow energy, more powers, and more learning the secrets of life and death and the secrets of immortality. Within the following centuries, they kept providing information to the Lolo magic and to the goddess of power, more and more knowledge about immortality and death and power. Within the following centuries, after hearing of Universal Man reforming the Universal Heroes and his team and all the others, and that they brought the demise of the Laurel Magic, the Shadow Empire found itself divided into factions. Shadow Empire warlords fighting for control, while supervillains are aiming to conquer. Jake Bringer and Nebula Bringer thought that it's best to protect the Dark Druids and the Dark Witches and the Dark Faithful by keeping them hidden and by hiding them far away from the war and by protecting their people, which are the Warlock race, a race of powerful warlocks and species, which Jake Bringer is a warlock himself. Nebula Bringer is a dark witch sorcerer. She is part druid, part faithful, and part witch. Jake Bringer is a powerful dark warlock with great, amazing powers. He's very, very powerful and very, very capable of flight, levitation, and also teleportation alongside with Nebula by his side. Together, they safeguard their people and their world by working with other supervillains and also superheroes alike, and by working with the Intergalactic Coalition, with the Shadow Empire and Chaos and factions fighting for control throughout the known universe and throughout the sacred universe. The power vacuum has consumed everyone except for Jake Bringer and Nebula Bringer. Their minds are still still the same, still brilliant, still full of intelligence and full of smart ideas. They were able to exactly protect their people from the war and from the coming conflict, and also from the war itself that's been exactly breaking out throughout the sacred universe and throughout the sacred world. In doing so, they were able to safeguard their people, protect them, hid them from, protect them and safeguard their home planet from hidden invasions from the sea creature, the Mothra creature, the dark creature, the Auro creature, the spade creature, the sacred creature, and also from other supervillains alike. When the sea creature wanted to invade the home planet known as Neb, Jackbringer and Nebula Bringer used a fleet in order to attack the sea creature and also to destroy it once and for all. They even remain in contact with the Order of the Five, an organization of supervillains, provide them with information on what the Universal Heroes are planning and exactly how much they were able, and inform them that the Universal Heroes pose a threat to their mission. In doing so, they still remain in contact with them and also with the founders, another secret society of supervillains, and also an organization of supervillains which is led by the Dark King, a very powerful dark supervillain. In doing so exactly, they were able to update the Dark King on the Universal Heroes attempt, and that they made a truce with the Intergalactic Coalition and with the Universal Heroes in order that they would exactly accept the truce despite the terms that they will be kept out of the war and fully kept out of the war itself and out of the conflict itself. The Dark King exactly accepted this, that he still wants to rule the known universe. Jake Bringer and Nebula Bringer offered their services to the founders and also to the Order of the Five, and also to the Court of Nature, and also to Queen Light. When the Universal Heroes stole the technology and all the Astrogestrol technology, saved the technology from being misused in the wrong hands, Jake Bringer and Nebula Bringer informed Queen Light, who's a high-ranking member of another secret society of supervillains, a group of supervillains known as the Court of Nature, which is intending on seizing control of cities, alien worlds, alien civilizations, planets, even universes as well, informed Queen Light. Queen Light told him that the loss of the technology had nothing had no regards of its losses when we recovered more technology than we can possibly have. In doing so, Jack Bringer was satisfied with the implication and also with the results that he quietly got. In doing so exactly, Neville and Jack Bringer still experimented with dark magic, giving their people advanced technology, advanced superpowers, and advanced magical levitation, and advanced super hearing, and advanced teleportation powers, and energy projection, and all the other dark powers. Jake Bringer became the most powerful sufficient warlock, and he became the leader. At the age of 2, Jake Bringer studied the history of the Dark King, the most powerful ancient supervillain who fought with the Ancient, who fought with the Alliance when he was trying to destroy or eradicate all the other worlds and other universes. He learned that he was not trying to destroy the worlds, that he learned that he was trying to exactly rule them and rule the known sacred universe for his own selfish agenda, and for his own primary intentions. In doing so, Jake Bringer became to believe that he and Nebula are the sole rulers of a home planet known as Planet Neb, and that they are the official that they are officially the destined ones meant to rule the planet and its inhabitants and its kind and with its people. With their people are known as warlocks and druids and witches and dark witches and dark druids and dark faithful and druids and witches and faithful alike, and also other warlocks. They are a very, 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 very powerful species of magical creatures living on a magical planet that is on the very far edges of the sacred universe, meaning, in other words, very far away. Very far away, meaning in edges, very far away at the edges of the sacred solar system, meaning too deep. They are very quietly far away. Jake Bringer is determined to protect his people no matter what. Given the risk, he will do that. They even bore a son, known as Chaos Bringer Jack, who wreaked an enormous amount of chaos in the 21st century. Wreaking that enormous amount of chaos caused the Storm Fairies and the other magic fairies to trap him in Eternal Stone, which he remained in Eternal Stone for the last centuries. Jake Bringer was trying to exactly free his son from Eternal Stone with all the spells he got and all the knowledge he got, but he came back with nothing. 1 year later, an Earth Witch freed his son Chaos Jack, an Earth Witch freed Chaos Jack from his internal imprisonment, set him free. Chaos Jack was happily free. He still wages war with the Universal Heroes and with Doctor Magic. This time, he became more highly evolved and highly intelligent. He renamed himself and reformed himself as Shadow Jack. He became the leader of his own empire, wanting to conquer the known universe and the sacred universe and all the other universes. In doing so, Jake Bringer and Nebula Bringer provided him with all the resources he requires, and they even partnered him with their dark druids and dark warlocks, and all like by giving them all the information they needed to take on the Intergalactic Coalition and all the other forces of good and evil. Despite this, Nebula Bringer and Jake Bringer are very quietly intertwined couple. They are a very powerful couple. They they themselves are not the villains, but they're like hero villains, super villain heroes. They are stuck between good and evil. They're exactly between good and evil, rather stuck between good and evil. They're like Switzerland in both sides of the conflict. When the universal heroes came to them, they wanted to exactly exert a truce, and the intergalactic exactly wanted to exert a truce, and they accepted a truce between them. That truce would exactly entail that they will not intervene in a war, but the universal heroes knew that they would try to sabotage the truce given the fact. Hearing about the Universal Prince and his secret society of supervillains known as the Order of the 12 trying to seize control of the Universal Throne, Jack Bringer and Jack Bringer and Nebula Bringer knew that this is going to be a very powerful war and a very, very, very long conflict that could last for eternity and chaos that's about to exactly ensue the entire sacred universe. In doing so, they decided to inform the 12th Order and the Universal Prince of any information, and also the Universal King's right hand man, who is also known as the Advisor Gregory, who is a supervillain who also wants to seize control. They provided him of all the clearance, the knowledge of how the Universal Heroes and all the other sidekicks would exactly attack and plan their next move against them. But he was too pleased with the information that he will take the information and give it to the Universal Prince, who was a very, very strong and deadly supervillain. Despite this, Jack Bringer does have a heart. He's a very considerate person. He was very hurt to learn that when his son was trapped in Eternal Stone and imprisoned for eternity, he tried all he can to free his son from Eternal Stone, and he did everything else he can with his studies, with his mission to further his ambition, to giving supervillains knowledge and everything. But he was very devastated to hear that his son was trapped into stone. He researched everything about stone magic and all its uses, using the dark powers he was really given and fused with dark magic as one, made him more powerful. Despite this, Jack Bringer cares deeply for his people. He's even willing to protect them from invasions and from intruders, from incursions of any outside threats from the other sacred universe and from forces from other universes and planets. With Nebula by his side, they became the next power couple and the most deadly couple ever. A powerful warlock and a powerful half druid and half witch and half faithful working together, combining their resources and combining their own resources to work together. They become the strongest, and the intelligence is very quietly inevitable, able to provide, able to work with other supervillains such as Ghostmaster, Showface, Metalface, Golden Knight, the Lolo Magic, Goddess of Power, Witch of Power known as Amber, and Black Sport, giving him all the access tools and all the technology, bring part of his success and his crystal energy, providing all the necessary advancement for his people. Despite this, Jake Bringer he feels like he's destined to rule his people and lift up his home planet Neb throughout the sketches of the sacred universe and put it on a higher cosmos by putting it at the center and a near stage of the cosmos, and by making sure that he and his people become the most dominant rulers of the known sacred universe, with Nebula by his side as his queen. He sees himself as a high destined leader, able to exactly rule his planet and making sure that it comes first no matter the risk, by fighting foes or rogue heroes or villains or superheroes alike. He is a very powerful foe and a very powerful adversary, wiser and very intelligent. He even provided information to the founders and to the Order of the Five, to the Order of the Six, to the Order of the Seven, to the Order of the Seven, to all these villainous organizations on how to take down the heroes, and gave the Universal Heroes in the Intergalactic Coalition information on how to take out the bad guys once and for all and save humanity. in the process. Despite this, Jake Bringer does care about humanity and his people and the rest of civilizations and all civilizations throughout the known universe and all the other worlds and all the other planets, no matter exactly the risk. He's very intelligent, very wise, very capable of flight, teleportation, astral projection, magical whispers. He even has the ability to enter minds, corrupt souls and uncorrupt souls, fuse shadow energy with dark magic, able to become strong and more immortal, able to use dark crystal to amplify his devices with Nebula and the other dark druids by his side, even protecting them and hiding them from the Shadow Empire warlords. Given the stake of this, Jake Bringer is a very powerful and a very deadly warlock. He leads his people with great audacity and with great leadership. He will do anything to save them from conflicts or wars or anything else, even working hand in hand with the universal heroes for a little ounce of time in order to cut ties with them once and for all. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please have a beautiful day and have a very great day ahead. Bye. Bye.